this Wednesday, December the 7th edition of the Ringside Report. I am Ryan Young. Joining me on the phone, the king of controversy, Anthony Smoothie. Smoothie!
Yo!
What you doing?
Not much. How are you?
I am great. It's Wednesday. Let's start this thing off by recapping Raw from Monday. Start off with Seth Rollins coming out and saying that he wants Triple H. So I thought maybe we were going to get a chance to see Triple H. He did not. Kevin Owens came out and says he gave Chris Jericho 3 wishes, or 3 gifts, and it was 3 matches. He gets Seth Rollins at Roadblock, end of the line. He gets a United States title match on Raw a little bit later on in the night. And then Seth Rollins had to go against the returning Big Show. And Big Show ended up choke slamming Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins wins by countout. Jack Gallagher gets a win over Daivari. Kevin Owens gets a win over Sami Zayn. Rich Swann gets a win over T.J. Perkins. Bayley gets a win over Alicia Fox. The Tussle in Texas. Mark Henry gets a win over Titus O'Neil. United States title on the line. Roman Reigns defeats Chris Jericho. Thanks to Kevin Owens interfering right before the match. Chris Jericho told Kevin Owens he didn't want anything to do with him. Big Cass versus Rusev ends in a no contest. We'll talk about the reason why. The #1 contender for the tag team titles, Gallows and Anderson versus Sheamus and Cesaro, ends in a no contest. It has now been made a triple threat match next week, a 3-way tag. And that will be, and if they win, and we'll get into that too. And then Charlotte, Ric Flair comes out to apologize. Charlotte ready to apologize and slaps Ric Flair right in the face and calls him a bitch. And then then Sasha Banks makes a save, and then gets attacked. First things first, Roadblock, end of the line, Tony. You're in trouble because they're going to have a half hour of that show dedicated to an Iron Woman match. That is something you did not want to see if you want to win this bet.
Well, you know, I wanted to see this because I want to see these two tear each other apart for a half hour to decide who's going to be the best, who's the women's best champion. But, you know, between these two, it's going to end up where I'm not going to even win a point for that one. So, but I'm glad that Charlotte and Sasha are going to end up in 2016 in an Iron Man match.
Are you going to be glad to see this rivalry finally end? Because they're kind of overdoing it with all these matches.
Yes, I'm glad to see this feud finally ending. And 2017 is going to start off with possibly maybe Sasha retain her title and go into the Royal Rumble against Bayley. I
heard it's going to be her and Bayley at WrestleMania. I would take that.
Oh, I'd love to see. You take Bayley, I'll take Sasha Banks in my hotel room.
Well, Tony, we're sharing the same room. That'll be a little awkward.
You can have the bathroom with Bayley.
Oh, okay. Wherever I have to go. Talk to me about Enzo and Lana. They do this whole thing. They end up in the hotel room. Didn't that give you a flashback of the Attitude Era?
It kind of reminds me back of when Edge and Lita were in the hotel room and Cena jumps out of nowhere, but this one was stupid.
By the way, hang on. Rusev then came in and attacked. It was a setup because he got Cass to do a match, and Cass was at the arena, and so it ended up being just Rusev annihilating Enzo. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's pretty stupid that Enzo fell for Lana's tricks, because Lana would never dump Rusev. It was just a setup, so it's going to lead to a match between one of them two against Rusev at Roadblock.
Yes, it will. And the Tussle in Texas, did you care about that at all?
That was another 4-match, along with these cruiserweight matches.
Triple threat match next week. Is New Day going to break the record?
No. I can declare we're going to have new tag team champions.
I have a feeling they have to have Gallows and Anderson get the titles, don't you think?
Yes, it's got to end where Gallows, Anderson, or Sheamus and Cesaro, they're the wild card factor. Look out for them. They could possibly sneak in there and take the tag team titles.
Indeed, they could. Of course, that'll be next Monday on Raw. That was Monday's Raw. We'll talk about next week's Raw on Monday. We're going to take a time out here on the Ringside Report. When we come back, we are going to preview Ring of Honor and NXT. That's next on the Ringside Report. On this date, Tony, in your house, D-Generation X, Stone Cold Steve Austin retained his Intercontinental Championship against The Rock.
That's when he brought his pickup truck in the arena, and McMahon didn't like that one.
That's when he was still going for the Intercontinental title. He was only a couple months away from really taking off in his career, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's start. Go ahead.
He was only a month away from winning the Royal Rumble and start the Attitude Era.
Oh, mammy. Let's preview Ring of Honor for tonight. It's going to be, for tonight. Let's see, I got the matches on here. Let's see, of course, coming out, these are still shows in Baltimore, so these aren't, they don't have the results yet of Final Battle. The Tempura Boy is going to go up against Cheeseburger and Will Ferrara. Then you're going to see Punishment Martinez and BJ Whitmer in action. Of course, with Kevin Sullivan, they're going to go up against War Machine. And your main event, an 8-man tag. The Motor City Machine Guns, Leo Rush and Jay White, going to go up against Jay Lethal, Silas Young, and the Briscoes. And, of course, a lot of hubbubaloo talking about what's next for what's going to happen, of course, coming up with... the rumor is, Tony, is that the Hardys are going to face the Young Bucks at Super Card of Honor in WrestleMania weekend in Florida. Of course, the one we're not planning on going to is all because of, and the Hardys are going to be there.
Well, yeah, that's big because while they're taping shows for Impact, they're going to be heading over to an undisclosed location in Florida and going to Ring of Honor for their shows for the Super Card of Honor. Because
the reason they cannot do a pay-per-view is they cannot do with their TNA contract, they cannot do a televised event. And Super Card of Honor is not televised. So they will not. So we'll never be able to see that match unless you buy that on demand on Ring of Honor, which obviously me and Tony both know tends to repeat itself.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty it's pretty weird that Ring of Honor would do that for their pay-per-views or whatever it is.
NXT this week going to be big, and of course you can see Ring of Honor on Comet TV. And I'm sorry if you can hear pounding in the background. My cat's trying to get in here as. He's being a pain in the ass. NXT this week, Tony, you're going to see the match as Nakamura gets his rematch in Osaka, Japan against Samoa Joe. A lot of people already know the results of this match, but it should be a good one nonetheless.
Yes, Nakamura needs to get back what it rightfully is, and that is the NXT World Championship.
And, of course, it's in his home country of Japan, and he's hoping to be able to keep that going. And then a lot of rumors about where Samoa Joe's going to end up after this. So, of course, we'll have full results of that coming up on Wednesday, or what day will that be? Friday's show, as we'll get you ready for the weekend. We'll also have an announcement next week concerning what Ringside Report's going to be doing on the Christmas break and talking about what you can see. Of course, I know everyone's worried about what Ringside Report's going to be doing, and you guys will be able to, we'll be able to quench your thirst, if you will. We're taking time out here on the Ringside Report. When we come back, we're going to preview Impact for Thursday on Pop TV. That's next on the Ringside Report. On this date in 2007 or 2008, the Main Event Mafia defeated the Frontline at TNA's Final Resolution.
Oh, the Main Event Mafia. Sting, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash.
Booker T.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner.
That was when the TNA was pretty good back then.
It was starting to go down because right after that is when Hulk Hogan came in a couple years later, and then it went down. Happy birthday to my nephew, Braden. He turned 6 today. Also, it's Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes, happy birthday, Braden.
Yep, he's coming over tonight. I bought him a Nerf gun with bullets, so his mom's gonna love that.
Oh, Jesus.
So that'll be fun, and of course they don't know yet, but they're going to their first wrestling show, WWE. They were at POW over the weekend, and then they were also, and then they'll be at their first WWE show. SmackDown next in a couple of weeks at Allstate Arena. And then also, we'd like to send our best wishes to Johnny Black from POW Entertainment. POW Entertainment and him come to a disagreement, and Johnny Black will no longer be the ring announcer. I got close to Johnny. Tony, you're good friends with him, and we like to send best wishes to him, as he was always a great ring announcer, sometimes a little talkative, but nonetheless a great announcer and a great guy.
He was, and it's gonna be harder to not see him there anymore, but I guess we're going to go back to We Love Jameson Joe, I guess.
Oh, and that's just going to pack the house.
Oh, boy. I can't wait for March 18th when the Carly Cooper thing.
Of course, I leave the company and they need a ring announcer. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Let's preview Impact for Thursday. I'm not really sure if anything's hyped at all for Thursday. I know we got the...
Eddie Edwards is defending his world championship against EC3.
Oh, is that happening Thursday?
Yep, and then Allie must fight for a spot on the roster when she takes on Lauren Van Ness with Maria in the corner.
Are we going to eventually see Allie versus Maria?
Yes, we'll probably see that on their Christmas show.
Ho, ho, ho!
On Impact Wrestling when Maria wears that scampy little outfit. Woohoo!
Hello. EC3, he gets his opportunity, like you said, Thursday at the TNA World Title. What are the chances that he walks away and becomes a two-time world champion in TNA?
Not like he's going to win the world title, because I believe somebody is going to interfere, and his name is Eli. You're right.
But he can't talk.
He'll still interfere.
I guess so. And them two are still going back and forth. I think it's going to be big. Also, Tony, we have a new... oh, yeah, speaking of that, we didn't even get a chance to talk about that last week. These are your results from last week's TNA Impact. Grand Championship, Moose defeats Aaron Rex. So are we going to see that rematch coming up possibly this week?
Probably we might see that, depends if Moose defends his title.
DJ Z retains against Braxton Sutter and Mandrews for the X Division title, but then Mandrews, after the match, kicks DJ Z's injured leg and then walks away. The Hardys defeat the DCC for the TNA Tag Team titles. They retain. And then the Knockouts title, 6 sides of steel, Rosemary versus Jade. Rosemary's your new Knockouts champion.
I told you guys that you look out for Rosemary, because now BK is going to get back what's rightfully theirs. They're gunning for the tag title. But bring you back to tonight, tomorrow night on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards at EC3. Maybe we might see, possibly sometime at the end of 2016, in the early 2017, the Wolves' other partner.
Oh, Davey
Richards.
Richards.
We have not seen him yet, and he's still making a comeback, so possibly we might see Eddie Edwards versus Davey Richards for the world title.
They did it in Ring of Honor. Why not do it in TNA?
Yeah,
that'd be big. We'll see. That'll be TNA. That is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on Pop TV. By the way, also, ladies and gentlemen, great news. There was a sale in the MLB yesterday, and that's Chris Sale going from one sock to another. He's a Boston Red Sox. They keep him in the American League, which is fine with me. He didn't go to the Nationals. Bye. But the White Sox got Yoan Mirando, whatever. One of the top prospects. That is going to be huge for them. And if they're rebuilding, a great guy to be able to do it around. So that should be exciting as well. Of course, if you want to hear sports talk, go to my podcast, Windy City Sports Talk, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. That'll do it for us. Preview for Friday. We're going to recap SmackDown, 205 Live, Ring of Honor, NXT, Busy Friday. For Anthony Smoody, I'm Ryan Young. Thank you for watching the Ringside Report, your front row seat to all things wrestling.